spent $15,000 on shocks for their truck and thought they were out of their mind. Yeah, same here. But when you start digging into why someone would spend that kind of money on a set of shocks, it starts to make a whole lot more sense. Especially in 2025, when trucks are more capable, more powerful, and doing things we couldn't imagine a decade ago. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the world of high-end suspension and what exactly you're getting when you drop $15,000 just on shocks. So let's start with the basics. What are shocks, and why do they matter? If you're into trucks, you already know shocks aren't just about comfort, they're about control. Whether you're crawling over rocks, blasting through desert trails at 80 miles per hour, or towing a 10,000-pound trailer across uneven terrain, your shocks are working overtime to keep you in control and your ride smooth. Basic shocks can get the job done for the average daily driver. But if you're pushing your truck to its limits, especially in off-road racing or extreme overlanding, stock components just won't cut it. That's where the premium stuff comes in. Now, when we say $15,000 shocks, we're not talking about a single component. We're usually talking about a full, custom-tuned suspension system, remote reservoir shocks, bypass technology, maybe electronically adjustable valves, and all the supporting hardware that comes with it. You're likely getting top-of-the-line brands like King, Fox, Icon, or Ads. We're talking race-proven technology that's been tested in the Baja 1000, in the dunes of Glamis, or on the steepest backcountry trails in Colorado. These shocks are often built with 2.5-inch or even 3.0-inch diameter bodies, which means more fluid capacity, better cooling, and higher performance under extreme conditions. They use billet aluminum or hard anodized materials that resist corrosion and take a beating. External reservoirs increase oil volume, which keeps your shock oil from overheating and losing damping ability. Some even come with finned reservoirs or fans to actively cool the system. That alone can be a game changer if you're hammering through trails for hours on end. But the real magic starts with bypass technology. These are not your ordinary monotube shocks. Bypass shocks allow different zones within the shock to control how fluid moves depending on the position of the piston. That means your suspension is soft and plush when cruising, but firms up dramatically when you're about to bottom out or land a jump. You're not just getting a better ride, you're getting a smarter ride. It adapts to the terrain without you touching a thing. Some of these systems go even further with live valve technology. That's right, we're talking about shocks that adjust themselves on the fly in real time. They use sensors to read vehicle speed, terrain, steering input, and even throttle position, and then adjust damping accordingly, hundreds of times per second. It's the kind of tech that was once only found in Formula One, and now it's making its way into off-road trucks. Systems like the Fox Live Valve or the electronically controlled Bilstein setups are revolutionizing how suspension works, and yes, they come at a premium price. So where does that $15,000 go? Let's break it down. A set of front and rear long travel shocks with bypass and remote reservoirs can run you $7,000 to $10,000 alone. If you're doing a coilover conversion up front or a 4-link suspension in the rear, you're adding thousands more. Don't forget custom tuning, because if you're spending that kind of money, you're not just bolting these on and hoping for the best. You're dialing them into your truck's weight, wheelbase, and how you plan to drive it. Add in labor, alignment, fab work, upgraded mounts, bump stops, maybe even air bumps or hydraulic bump stops, and that number hits $15,000 real quick. And let's not ignore the real question, is it worth it? Well, that depends. If your truck is a daily driver that never leaves pavement, probably not. You'll never tap into even 10% of what these shocks can do. But if you're building an expedition rig, competing in off-road races, or just want a truck that can soak up loops and ruts like it's floating on air, then yeah, it might be worth every penny. The difference in ride quality, durability, and performance isn't just noticeable, it's dramatic. One of the things people overlook when talking about expensive shocks is longevity. These aren't throwaway parts. High-end shocks are rebuildable, revalvable, and meant to last the life of the truck or longer. You don't toss them when they wear out. You service them, change the oil, replace seals, and they're back to 100%. Over the long haul, that durability adds real value, especially if you're the type that keeps your truck forever. It's also about trust. When you're flying across uneven terrain at 70 miles an hour, your shocks are the only thing standing between you and disaster. They keep your tires planted, your body level, and your truck predictable. In that moment, you want the best, because failure is not an option. That peace of mind is part of the price tag. There's also a growing market for premium suspension in the custom truck scene. Let's be honest, some people do it for the look. And that's fine too. King or Fox shocks with anodized blue, gold, or red components peeking out from a set of 37s on a lifted rig, it's a statement. It says you didn't cut corners. It says you built something serious. And while that might not justify $15,000 to everyone, for some owners, it's a badge of pride. Bottom line, $15,000 shocks aren't for everyone. But in 2025, with trucks becoming more capable, more tech-heavy, and more performance-focused, there's a growing demand for top-tier components. Whether it's for hardcore off-road use, high-speed desert racing, or building a showpiece that can still handle business, these suspension systems are the real deal. It's not just about ride height or flex, it's about control, safety, and pushing the limits of what your truck can do. So next time you hear someone dropped 15 grand on shocks, maybe don't laugh, maybe ask for a ride.